For the reporters who have a question, please raise your hand, wait for the microphone to get to you, and state your name and affiliation before asking your question.
LeBron, on your other side.
I hear you, Tim.
It's just a question of finding the pink, I think. Tim Reynolds of the AP, congratulations. Last year when this happened, you spoke of how nothing could distract you from the quest of winning the first one. Now that this has happened again in the quest for winning the second one, do you still feel the same way, or do you take a second more maybe this time and appreciate the individual part?
Well, I'm appreciating now while I'm up here. But my ultimate goal is to win an NBA championship. That's what I was brought here for. That's why I signed here as a free agent in 2010. It wasn't to win MVP trophies, it was to win a championship and win multiple championships, and that's still my #1 priority. There are things that's going to happen, and moments throughout that journey will happen. Great times, 27-game winning streak for us this year, and Spo, being coach of the month, and me being player of the month, and guys, winning the most games in a month and more than any other team in NBA history. Us doing the Harlem Shake video. You're going to have times throughout the year where you're going to appreciate, but the ultimate journey and the ultimate goal is for us to be able to celebrate with confetti raining with our fans winning that trophy.
Chris Thomason, FoxSports.com. LeBron over here. There was much speculation on whether you might be a unanimous selection. You got every first-place vote except one first-place vote went to Carmelo Anthony. How do you feel about coming so close to being unanimous, and did part of you maybe want to be the first unanimous guy?
Well, it's probably a writer out of New York that didn't give me that vote. And we know the history between the Heat and the Knicks, so I get it.
LeBron, right here. Donovan Campbell, WSVN Channel 7 here in Miami. First and foremost, congratulations. How have you maintained this sense of humbleness throughout all the success you've been having these past few years?
I guess sitting back and understanding what I'm here for. I think inside the box, people look at me and say, well, I'm a great basketball player and I do some great things out on the floor. But I think I realize that I have even more of a meaning in my life, and that's to inspire kids, that's to inspire people around me to want to be better at whatever they do. And so that keeps me humble and everything that I do each and every day. You all right? You okay? Okay.
LeBron, Israel Gutierrez, ESPN. Another guy who won a bunch of these trophies, Michael Jordan, influenced a lot of people in the way they played. Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, influenced them to be scorers. But what about your game? Or when did you decide, I don't need to be a scorer, I'm going to be an all-around player? And how much do you think down the road that could influence kids to not just look at the game in terms of a scoring aspect, but the entire game?
I think when I was a kid, it was kind of brought into my DNA, because the game of basketball brought me friendships that I didn't have. I'm an only child. I didn't have any brothers or any sisters. So when I started playing sports, it brought me friendships. It brought me brothers that I didn't have around my house each and every day growing up. So I never want that to be away again. So I think, my little league coaches, Frank Walker and Drew Joyce, they always preach team, and I bought into it, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the success more than me scoring. I enjoyed me making that pass to seeing my teammates score, and that gave me more excitement than anything. And it just continued to carry on. I never changed my game. Not only did it make me happy, we won doing that too as well. I've been pretty successful with it, and just kind of stuck with me.
LeBron, congratulations, LeBron. James Oyola with Heat Tip-Off. I have a question. This time last year, you said that individual awards are a result of team success. You said that a little bit before. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the band of brotherhood that you have with the team and how the core strengthens throughout the season?
I mean, it doesn't guarantee us anything. It doesn't guarantee us a championship. It doesn't guarantee us wins. But I think our team is very special. It makes it, in our sport, in our profession, it could be, a lot comes with it. And it can be mentally draining. It can be physically draining. It can be times where you just don't want to show up to work. But when you have a group of guys like we have, we all buy into one thing, and that's winning and sacrificing for one another. But we also enjoy each other. So when you wake up, you're like, I can't wait to get there so I can see D Wade, or I can see Ray, or I can see Rashard, or Rio. And it's vice versa. It's for everyone. We all enjoy each other. We all enjoy being around one another. So when we step on that floor, it's kind of just second nature. The game of basketball is that much easier for us.
LeBron, right? Joe Goodman, Miami Herald. The biggest difference between last year and this year was the three-point percentage. So what was the genesis of that? At the beginning of 2012, you really didn't want to go outside at all. You focused everything inside, and then you stepped out this year and shot the great percentage. What was the reasoning for that?
Well, I thought in the year that we lost the finals, I didn't do a great job of capitalizing on mismatches and things that I could have done using my strength and my speed. So I went into that summer saying I'm strictly just going to work in the post. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to seek out Akeem Olajuwon, which you all guys all know about. I'm going to take that and go back to my hometown, and I'm going to stay in the gym, and I'm going to work on it each and every day, twice a day. Once I was able to feel comfortable with doing that, I brought it into a game situation last year, and I did it all season. And I didn't want to be on the perimeter because I wanted to continue to use what I've done in my workouts and implement it into a game situation. I was able to carry that all throughout the season. This past off season, I said, okay, now I feel comfortable doing that. What can I get better at now to where I can be even more dynamic? And I thought my three-point shooting could help me out. I thought that could make me more dynamic where guys couldn't just lay off of me and dare me to shoot. So I stayed in the gym twice a day, taking threes. Putting myself in pressure situations where if I don't make it, I got to run each and every time. And I became more comfortable with it and then start implementing that into game situations too. So, and I think the addition of Ray Allen helped too, being around him every day and competing with him every day. As a competitor, you hate losing, even though he's the greatest three-point shooter of all time in regular season and playoff history. I hate losing, so. To compete with him has, helped me out a lot as well.
Shuangfu Li from Xinjiang, China. LeBron, congratulations. The only two guys in the league that win the MVP and DPOY Defensive Player of the Year at the same year. Has any part of you thought about winning the Defensive Player of the Year award?
Tried it this year with Defensive Player of the Year. I actually tried harder to win Defensive Player than I tried MVP. I really didn't even think about the MVP award. Spo helped me out a lot too by making me guard every last player on the court. But we fell a little short. But we'll try again next year, and that's my goal. I care about defense just as much as I care about the offensive end. I believe I can guard every position in the NBA, every player in the NBA. It's just, how I feel, and but at the end of the day, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
LeBron, straight ahead here. Josh Friedman from 790 The Ticket. I'm sure when you entered the NBA then, as now, your goal is championships. But when you made the leap from high school, was the thought of winning an MVP, was it a goal? Was it possible in your mind?
No. Can I score 20 points? As a kid, 18-year-old kid, I just want to know if I could score 20 points in an NBA game. I did that in my first NBA game, so that kind of went out the window very fast, and I had to set another goal. But I always believed that I was making the jump from high school to the NBA because I knew I can compete at the highest level. I knew I can compete with the men. And ever since I made the jump, I told myself, okay, now you have to start over. Just because you're the best high school basketball player in the world doesn't give you the right to think you're the best NBA player in the world. So now you have to start over. So I started from ground zero, and I started to work on my game even harder. And, it's rewarded me an opportunity to be standing up here today. You want to go work on your game when we leave here?
Yes.
All right. We got another one coming.
Ethan Skolnick, Palm Beach Post. LeBron, this question is probably better for your fiance and your kids, but what have you been like the last week when you've been at home, when you haven't had an opportunity to play, and how geared up are you for tomorrow against Chicago?
I was getting a little irritated, honestly. Just been a little irritated just knowing how long we had off. And then when the second round schedules came out, I thought, we would get a Saturday game. And then what really made me irritated is when I seen teams that just finished their series play today, and we got to wait another day. But now I'm excited. I'm back excited again, knowing that we tip off tomorrow in front of these amazing fans against a great team in Chicago, and I look forward to it. Ronnie, Bryce, come here.
Once again, congratulations to the 2012-2013 Kia NBA MVP.